Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So last time I finished Pippa's dress here. I have just one small thing I want to change, but it is actually legitimately small, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I just need to go turn off some of the layers here, get the lighting all in a place where I can actually pick colors and all that good stuff, and in fact, I should put my swatch on. I get the feeling I'm going to be using that a lot today. Well, maybe not actually, but you know what? It's useful. I'll keep it. I can get rid of it if it gets in the way. Anyway, the one thing I wanted to fix is that I just didn't like the angle of this bunny. That's literally it. Because the dress, it is... Let me find a place I can draw on. Okay, yeah, this layer's fine. So... It's blowing this way. Yeah, so the wind is, you know, grabbing all the pleats and pulling them down like this. And yet, for some reason, this bunny is going that way. Yeah, no, not quite. It was relatively okay on this one, although I think it's also incorrect, so I think I'm gonna fix that one too. Hold on, got a small cough here. There we go, that's better. Oh yeah, they should be going that way, not this way. That's no good. So I can kind of see what I was thinking, given that there's a bunch here that probably does bring some stuff down like that. No. So I just want to fix that real quick. But first I gotta find where it is. There you are. Okay. And then this layer. I'm gonna see how much I can just rotate and be lazy with. Use transform tools to do the thing. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see this fold right here. That kind of squishes everything together before fluffing back out. But no, I do think it is more correct for things to be like this. And for you to be a little bit more like this. The ears should kind of squish together based on that angle. And now I just gotta clean. I gotta clean that up. I'm just checking to see how it looks before I do. So that, you know, maybe I don't make the same mistake and put it in at a weird angle. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's a little hard to see some of the shades now since I just covered so much of it. But you know what? It's all good. I don't need it. I don't think I need it. Okay, so I can see the light part here. Comes down like this and then over here. And then those ears I think look good like that. I'm gonna try to just use this color. So once again, I see the light part coming up here. I'm gonna cut off this part of the ear, so that this way it follows that fold. And this will come down here like this and up, and I want it to follow the edge of the dress here. So I'm gonna just kind of flatten the bottom a little bit there, but I just wanted it slightly more round than what I had. Just a little. And then this part of the ear can come on off. Just fall off the edge very casually. The shading will be fixed once I am happy with my shapes. But, you know, I'm not yet, so I gotta get all those shapes in first. One step at a time, as always. And then I actually think that the ears on this one are just a little bit long. So I'm gonna go bring them down just a little. There we go. That's a little bit better. But it's okay. I'm happy that this is like the only thing that I wanted to correct here, even with the sheer amount of tiny details that I was drawing on this thing yesterday. Monday. Because, man, this dress was a lot. There was a lot going on here. So much. It's okay. It's worth. I'm really happy with how it looks. Alright, so now I'm just gonna fix my shading here. Kind of blend the colors back together. I'm just gonna use the same colors that I already have around here. I don't think I need to do anything real special. Let's see, this should go all the way to here now and be like that. Okay. And there we go. Now it feels like they're going more that way and following the actual shape of the dress. But yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with how the rest looks. So, I think everything else there looks just fine. So today, let's go ahead and finish Pippa, and I can do her lighting. I have been looking forward to that all week. Because I don't think it'll be much trouble. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get the back of her cape thing here, her coat. And for that, all I really gotta do is fluff out the edge. The colors on the rest are fine. So literally, all I gotta do is get my smudge tool, zoom in there, and make it fluffy. Just get to make so many things fluffy. Okay, so here we go. Just very carefully make it nice and fluffy. I'm going for, you know, more of a cotton ball kind of fluff. No, that's no good. Let's try that again. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, look like little cotton balls, little cotton ball bunny tails, or the same kind of texture that she's got up in her ears. As opposed to the more furry textures that I have on the animals. Speaking of the animals, I have a couple of things I want to correct on the deer, but yeah, you know, it didn't feel important while I was working on Pippa. She's way more important to this picture than whatever minor things I want to do with the animals. So I figured I'd just go do that once I finish everything here. There we go, just very carefully going through there, and the rest of the lighting will be handled by the additional mood lighting that I have mentioned in the title of this stream. Oh, it'll be very exciting. Okay, there we go. All right, the top part too. I guess that's also important. I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't want to neglect anything else. It just wouldn't be as fluffy if I did, and that would just be sad. right. I really do like how this picture's turning out, though. I think it's really cute. Okay, so there we go. Finished the back of the coat. I think I want this to be just a little bit more fluffy, but, you know, it's no trouble at all. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna do one more little thing just to make it a little fluffier. I'm not quite satisfied with the level of fluff, and as always, if I'm not happy, you know, that's just a shame. So, and for that, I'm just gonna add a few little dots of light here, just a few, and then fluff those out. It's not a lot. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's the little things that make all the difference. So now I'll just make that a little fluffy. And there we go. That should make it look a little bit more fluffy. Just a little bit more color variation in there to just a touch of fluff. Oh yeah, that is so much better. Okay, so remaining things. We got the foot. We got her hair. And part of the hair is going to be the two braids kind of coming out on either side here. But that is it. That is all that remains on Pippa. And then I get to do the fun lighting part. Okay. So, yeah, let's just go. I think I'm going to do her leg first. Because I'm already down here, and that sounds good to me. So, let's start with the leg here, since the thing covering her leg are kind of translucent tights. So, I have to actually draw the leg for this one. That's not covered up. It's not just a replacement. Where is the other part of the snow pile? I kind of want to get rid of that too. I don't even know where I put it. If you ever wonder why I try to limit the amount of layers I use, it's because if I don't, this happens. Except worse. I always wondered how people are able to paint so well with, like, lots of blend modes where they make heavy use of, like, multiply layers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, can you imagine having to put every different color you use on a different layer? Like, every little bit of shading you do, suddenly new layer? Just the thought makes my head spin. Unless it's one of those ones where they have, like, base, plop some colors down, and then only shade with one layer. With one color, and maybe make minor adjustments there. You know, kind of like what I do with my mood lighting at the end. You know, that I can kind of understand. But man, am I just always a little bit terrified by people that use layers for, like, every single thing. The results are often good. But I think I would drive myself crazy. Just trying to wrangle all of those layers, man. I would die in real life. Okay. So she's got another leg over here. That's about all of it we see. So there we go. Now I can get this on. You know what? I think I can make my life easy here. Just select my body layer. Select the inverse and delete. And that should do it. Cool. Nice. Okay. I will put a little bit of shading on it. You know, once Krita stops teleporting me around, I do wish it would stop. Oh yeah, these are white, so I'll use, you know, my white shades. And just kind of plop a little bit around here. I could probably put the entire thing in dark, like I did with the skin, but you know what? This is fine. This one will be completely enchanted, though. Hello there, Protox. Welcome back. And then I just want to add the slightest little hint of texture on there. You know what? No, I'm going to do that after I draw the boot. But let's do that first, since this will be partially covered up by that. I want to know where this fluff is going to go. Okay, so let's go get her boots in there. How the heck did I do this? Okay, I see how I did this. Alright, I'm going to leave the bunny there for now. I'm just going to believe in what I drew before. Because, frankly, I don't think it's looking half bad. About the only thing I remember wanting to change is that I remembered that a lot of the shoes associated with this kind of fashion are, like, ridiculously chunky. And right now, I think the chunk in the sole here is pretty modest. So, I thought that I would just bring out the chunkiness of it. Make it really, really big. So I'll send this into the background there. And I can decorate all that accordingly. You know, a little bit later. I'm just gonna kind of render out the entire boot here. Or at least kind of get the general gist of the entire boot here before I go in and start rendering each little piece. Here I might need a little bit of help, though. Hello again, Levin. Welcome back. Just a little bit of help here. I want to understand the three-dimensionality of this weird shoe I'm drawing. So yeah, that goes back there. I think that's about correct. So I think I drew it right. I just need to get the foot sitting on there a little bit better, but that will come once I render the yellow part. Okay. Labubu. You know, I saw Labubu for the first time the other day. It's the kind of thing that I would have never seen if I did not have kids. Kind of looks like one, doesn't it? Look, I like the rock I'm living under. It's very comfortable. So anyway, you know, these are going to be snow boots. They better have traction. So I'll go ahead and start getting some of that in there. And, you know, like I said, as I got started here, that I just feel like whenever shoes like this are there, they tend to be like ultra chunky. So I decided I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. Arnold. I have never heard of it. What is it? If it is not a Metroidvania, probably not. Or I guess I would also accept a puzzle game. Oh, it's nice music. I see. No, I do not trust YouTube when it comes to copyright. So I very deliberately found a playlist that has no copyright on it that I can freely play. So I play that. Look, I fear the YouTube. I fear it a lot. I've already gotten smacked once, and I still don't know why. They never explained. It wasn't a strike or anything. It just, they restricted the amount that I could upload. So. And only recently has that gone away. So I fear the YouTube greatly. So, alright, I think I'm gonna just do something like this with them. Yeah, and this should all make sense once I'm actually able to properly render this. Yeah, I know what I'm going for here. I want some kind of texture in this part, but I don't know what yet. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go do the fluffy boot part. You know, I should name these layers. And this is boot main, I guess. There we go. All right, let's fluff this out. So like I said, I'm just going to trust that what I have drawn here is fine. I'm not going to worry about it, so I'm just going to make it look nice, and all will hopefully be well. Okay, that should be fine. Let's go ahead and get the fluff going down here a little bit nicer as well. Yeah, and I think this looks nice and fluffy, so I'll put a little bit of a fluffy part around this. This is going to be like where the shoelaces go. But I'll make it a little fluffy here. There we go. And let's fix the fluff going all the way around here. Okay. And we are seeing her from slightly above, so I'm gonna grab my shadow color too, and I'm gonna put a little bit of stuff going around the backside here. Just around like that. Because I do think a little bit there, and in fact, I think I should adjust this part to go a little further down. Yeah, that makes more sense, actually. And I'll fix what's going around the leg in a second. I'm not really worried about it. Okay. So basically the reason I'm not doing it now is because I want to finish fluffing up the boot there before I clear out the parts that are going to be behind the leg. So let's see. I want to get some basic shading on here. Oh, I don't have the right color. You know, that would do it. Okay. So how this is gonna work, then this is gonna top of this part. Plop that around there, put some shadows on behind the bunny's ear, and then just a little bit over there. Okay, looks good to me. And I'll do the same with the boot part itself real quick. So most of over here is going to be in shadow. Just due to the angle of her foot there. And there we go. Oh, nice. What's it called? Get a little bit of light through there. And then I want to break up the shadow shape just a little bit with some light spots just to make it a little bit fluffier looking. All right, I'm not familiar with it. Okay. That would explain why I'm not familiar with it. I'm not super familiar with the various Sonic artists. It's okay. It's really good to have an idea of which styles you like, because you know that then you can go look at something that you already think looks good, and you can kind of compare it with whatever you're doing, and find the gap between them and what this person is doing that you like and that you're not doing. So very, very useful. Very, very useful. Sometimes I'll do it with nature too. Of just, you know, that tree is so freaking pretty. Why can't I draw trees like that? And then I analyze the tree. So, you can do it with anything. Everything can be analyzed if you try hard enough. Alright, let's make this fluffy. I wanted to get some of the basic shading on there before I fluffed it out, because then I can just fluff out the shading at the same time, and it's very convenient. Okay. Unfortunately, making it fluffy is pretty easy. I just gotta dab around with the smudge tool here. You can. You can indeed. I mean, to a degree, it should actually be fairly straightforward because, you know, neurologically, flies are pretty simple. So their flight patterns and stuff, if you really wanted to figure it out, I bet you could. I don't know why you'd want to, but you probably could. And you know, people do. Bug science is a very interesting field. One I will not touch with a 10-foot pole because I do not like bugs. You know, that's the upside to living out in space. No bugs. None whatsoever. At least not yet. You know, I wouldn't put it past him. I swear to God, if anything could find a way to adapt and live outside of space, it'd be freaking bugs. Alright, and that looks sufficiently fluffy to me. So I'm gonna go lock the layer for a second, so this way I can work on some of the inner parts here that are not quite fluffy enough yet. Why am I... Okay. Let's go back out to 100%, so that this way I don't just over-render things. You know that, like I've been saying for a few days now, I am trying very, very hard to find the things that are slowing me down, and zooming in too dang much is definitely one of them. Oh. Very cool. I love silhouettes. Yeah, silhouettes are fun. I basically did all silhouettes all the time during Inktober because they are fast if you know what you're doing. And that's the only way I can actually finish drawing every day. I like them lots. You can be very stylish with a good silhouette. Alright, that looks good to me, so let's go fluff out the yellow part now. Am I satisfied with this? Yeah, I think so. I had to think about it for a second. You'll probably see me draw a lot more silhouette stuff on the channel soon. Maybe not live. I like going full try-hard on live. I like being a sweaty artist. But, I'd like to release, like, some more shorts and stuff. And those will probably involve a lot of silhouettes. I mean, you get used to it. Just gotta keep trying. Eventually, I do feel like the first obstacle with learning how to draw, especially if you want to draw accurately and not very simple cartoons, is just learning how to after drawing. So, don't worry. You know, analyze the thing. Get that analytical brain out there. It'll be great, I promise. Oh, congrats. Good job. All right. So yeah, that looks pretty fluffy. I think I can be happy with that. I might change where I put her shoelaces, but... No, that's actually reasonably accurate. I think I'm gonna redraw the entire thing, just because what I currently have kind of looks kind of terrible. But I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. I think I want to do the sole of the boot for now. What do I want to do here? I don't know, do I put fluff there? I don't think so. I think I want this to be rubbery and chunky. Let me go do a quick search on their boots. Like, what do you do? I guess I could make it lacy. I don't really do anything lacy in this design. Hello there, Cakes. Welcome back. Are you feeling better today? Fluff would actually not be out of the question here. But no, I don't think it's what I want to do. I don't really want to put a ribbon there either. I don't know, maybe I just leave it like that then. You know, I wasn't expecting to have to do more character design, but then I went and did something like this. And now I have to ask myself, is there anything else I want to do with her shoes? I take my designs very seriously. I take everything very seriously. Alright, excellent. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah, you know what? I think just leaving it like that is actually fine. I don't think it needs anything else. Okay. Pretty good. I get to draw pictures today. How is that not a good day? Alright, and how am I gonna handle the part going back there? I think I'm just gonna draw it. Okay, this is all gonna be like super in shadow, so I'll just draw where it goes back. With maybe just the slightest hint of a plane change, like right there. I don't think we see very much of it anyway. It's all good. There we go. Okay. Alright. You know, those days are always the best, in my opinion. I'd love it when I just really feel like drawing. That's always a good day. No zooming into 400%. Stop it. Anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit of light back there because I do think that the sun up there is hitting there a little bit. So now I just, I don't know, blend in the rubbery parts here, and I think that'll do it. You know, I always say, don't worry about the skill, because, you know, once you're actually good by your standards, you're gonna be like, you know, I could still do this better. It never stops. I do think that there comes a point when it'll at least feel a little better, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen an artist that is happy with things. It sounds terrible to say, but it's the truth. You know, just enjoy the process and learn to manage the existential dread. It'll be with you forever and ever. Yes. No, it's a good way to be. it's like, it was only relatively recently that I was happy with my own art. I want to say, like, within the last 3 years or so. Maybe 4, if I'm being generous. And, before then, I'm just like, I don't know, I didn't really like anything. But, now I'm back to the point where I'm just like, man, I don't really like that very much. Look, I look at my stream starting screen, and I scream internally. Daily. I want to redo it. I probably will someday. I'll probably make a version 2 of myself someday. But, you know, sometimes you can only do what you can do. And, you know, I always say, I don't think a lot of negative feelings are to be avoided. Sometimes they're just kind of inevitable with the positive ones as well. They come together sometimes. So, you know, it's okay. You don't have to let the negativity get to you. Okay, I need to hide the bunny for a second in order to draw shoelaces. You don't have to let it get to you, but I don't think that the goal should necessarily be to get rid of them. Just, you know that they are there. And you can say, hello, sadness. And have a nice little conversation about why you're sad. And it'll be okay. Truly a terrible state to be in. No, this is way too fine. I want the shoelaces to be a little bit bigger, more ribbon-like. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I don't know if this is sitting on her foot quite correctly. Her foot also feels a little bit big, but frankly, who cares? It's covered up by a rabbit. Yeah, that works too. I mean, I use none of these things, so... I use a computer. And I always will. I love digital. Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so I'm just gonna do all this together. I can see where the ribbon is, so it's all good. And do I give it pom-poms? You know what? Yes. Why am I even asking? Of course I do. It's gotta have cute little pom-poms, just like everything else here. So we'll send those flying out this way, in the wind, and all will be well. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, once things are in the state that you consider finished, there's nothing wrong with finishing it. I have to tell that to myself more often, but I don't listen, so it's fine. It's okay, if you're drawing the thing, you've already done the first step, so it's a good way to be. I asked myself when I did this initial design, how does she, you know, get the boots on and off if this part doesn't actually separate out, even though there's shoelaces? And I'm like, you know, this is the silly question. The shoelaces are decorative. You just slip it on. They don't come undone. So that's how I think about this pattern here. There we go. I like that a lot. Okay. So let's get the top of the ribbon in there. And the rest, I think I'm just gonna do with airbrush here. Let's get shadows from the bunny, and then I need to go in and first I'm gonna shade the cast shadows of the ribbon. And I think that this is sitting on top of the ribbon, so I'm gonna put some cast shadows from that in. I think it probably connects somewhere over here. Estimating, I think it's fine here. And then we have the center of the ribbon around here. Hey, this is why I wasn't worried about just leaving it a silhouette. I don't necessarily need all of the details there. I enjoy my silhouettes. I find them quite easy to think in. Alright, and now I can start kind of cleaning all this up. Okay. So I'll have another little thing right there. Try both. See which one you like more. See, it's an easy choice for me, because I only like digital. I don't like working with traditional media. I've tried. I don't like it. So I don't. I just work digitally, and it's great, and I love it. Love digital. I love computers. Do I have the right color here? It feels light. Okay, I do. I was wondering if I just picked up the wrong color from somewhere. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna zoom in and neaten out the shoelaces themselves here. Define which are going over and which are going under. So it's mostly just this one in the middle that's going over, so that makes my life pretty easy. And then I think it goes into the boot right around here, so I'll make it a little bit darker. Problems with saving are almost always user error, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yep. That's what I said. Try both. See what you like. Let's see here. This should be coming out like this, I think, and up into here. And then this should be in shadow. There we go. This time I forgive myself for zooming in because I needed to understand the structure of this ribbon, and for that I needed to get up close and personal with it. Otherwise, well, it just wouldn't work out very well. Yeah, and I don't think I'd be able to understand it without getting close here, so I forgive myself this time. Add the shadow there, and there we go. I think that's probably sufficient for 90%. I will go ahead and put my little highlights on it. Because it's a shiny ribbon. It's a very shiny, shiny ribbon. Get a little light in there, and like over here. That'll make it shiny. And that's pretty easy to do. Just, I don't know, put some shiny little highlights on. And this side is fluffy, so I'll just lighten it up there. And that should be sufficient. So I can render it out, and yeah, you know what? I think that is a cute little snow boot. So yeah, let's go ahead and render out this last thing. I'm realizing that I'm still not quite happy with the level of contrast in the ribbon here, but I don't know. I think it's too late to change it all. I'll just do it via, like, curves and color balance adjustments at the end. That's fine. It's something I've been noticing early on. If I had fixed it early on, then, you know, I'd probably have less issues here, but yeah, I think it's fine. Making things pretty. No, it definitely came from 2D first. But yeah, it's, yeah, you make it look nice, basically. So what I'm doing here, shading all the things, that would be the rendering, yes. I believe it has been a term for a very, very long time. Long before the advent of digital. I just want a little bit of light right there, too. Okay. Normally I do the shadows first, but I had the light color there, so I thought, you know what, why not? We'll start with the light. Do things in a slightly different order today. Okay. So I just want to blend everything together and smooth it all out. I don't actually think there's very much smoothing I need to do here. It mostly looks fine already. But I do want to make sure that all these little bits of ribbon and stuff, especially where the ribbon is kind of bunching up into here, I definitely want to make sure that I have all of that looking very nice. I think it's an important part of a ribbon. Yeah, that's excellent for drawing comics. It's a good idea. I get the feeling that once I draw mine, I'm going to be having to learn many things, because as I am now, I would take way too long to draw a single panel. But, you know, I figured I'd cross that bridge when I got there. Alright, let's make it fluffy. Let's make it fluffy. I've been thinking about drawing some fan comics for things for practice in the meantime. I just haven't had any good ideas. Art is hard, you know? But, you know, if I do, I will certainly do that. Okay, there we go. Nice and fluffy. And now I just got to get those X'd out eyes in there. I guess I'll just do it on the same layer I did all the other ones on. Where are they? Here we are. So I have a pink one, so that means that they will be blue. That's what I did everywhere else. So I think it's here and here, roughly. I mean, I don't even think art is simple. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. I don't have anything against AI, personally. I don't really care. For me, it's not about effort, it's about what I make. Alright. Yeah, I think the last thing I have to do is hair. Yes. Okay, so let's see. The hair is the last thing. I mean, I just always look at AI like this. It's a tool like anything else. And I don't But I think where it shines is, if we're talking about AI art specifically, for people that don't draw. So I see it a lot in like role-playing circles where people are trying to make images of their characters, or like in game development where people are just like making quick portraits or something, and it elevates the thing that they are trying to make. It's like AI is not just about, I don't know, putting random slop on the internet. A lot of people definitely do that, and that sucks. But there are legitimate use cases for it. I don't think all people need to learn how to draw in order to make their creative dreams come true. But then, you know, it's about the creativity of the thing that they're actually making. The AI enhances it as opposed to the AI does everything. Like that's pointless. Like why even bother at that point? I don't get these people that are just like, yes, I'm gonna upload 40 AI generated images to Twitter every day. I'm like, why? Why? What is even the point? That is bizarre to me, but, you know, for people that just want some drawings of their OCs, or want to make their games a little bit nicer, or anything else where, you know, they don't know how to draw, it's not reasonable to expect them to learn how to draw. They may not even want to know how to draw, like, it's fine. I don't think everybody needs to learn how to draw in order to make cool things. You know, I think it's fine, because then it's a tool being used to enhance the creative thing that they are doing, as opposed to the creative thing in and of itself. But, I mean, obviously, it's a tool that makes things very, very, very easy. So of course people are gonna do stupid shit with it, like, duh. And it sucks. It sucks really hard that people are gonna misuse it, but all tools are like that. I still remember when digital was new. And I remember that there were some people out there saying, yes, please buy my hand-painted oil paints, or oil paintings, and I will sell it for this much money because it is one of a kind, and I did it with oil paints when it was just digital. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with digital. You know, I obviously love digital. But that's fraudulent. Don't do that. So, people misuse digital all the time back in the day, but now that's become kind of ubiquitous and accepted, and people don't mind receiving digital art. It's become kind of unnecessary. AI will probably have a similar trajectory. Although I think it'll probably be worse. I think it'll probably be worse just because the AI makes everything real easy. So, whereas at least, you know, when digital was first getting started, you still had to know how to paint. In order to do stuff like that. Don't be a fraud. That's the big thing. Just don't be a fraud. Don't spam the internet with stupid stuff that you don't care about. You know, that kind of thing would be fantastic. I'd like that a lot. Now, spamming the internet with stupid stuff you do care about. Yes. That's good. I'm all for stupid stuff, so it's not stupid stuff you don't care about. At least care. Alright, I'm just adding a few strands here and there. I'm not going to get very detailed with the hair here. This is supposed to be fading into the background. I think even this is more than I want to do. So I'm going to take it back just a little bit here and there, but I want a little bit of texture kind of coming through. I think it'll look nice. So I'm kind of deciding where some of these lighter parts are going to be. And then at some point, I'm just gonna, like, cover the entire thing in, like, sunny yellow. It'll be great. It'll really start fading into the background, and that will look really nice. Okay, I think now's a good time for that, so here we go. We're just gonna send, like, all of this just really far into the background. And then I'll take some of the original hair color, which is, you know, the shadow color, actually. And I'll just add a few more strands and strandy texture in the places that I think will be a little bit darker. I'm not gonna go hard. Just enough. Make it clear that this is hair. Good story. I'd say, for starters, interesting characters that I like, and then... Man, because there are so many different kinds of stories that I enjoy. Characters tend to be a big thing, but there are a few with weak characters that I still consider pretty good, so I can't even say that ubiquitously. It helps, though. I'd consider it pretty important. And... if it's a story that I think things should change. I think that's probably the broadest way I can put it. Just, the characters at the beginning of the story should not be the same people as they are at the end. Oh, that's right, I totally forgot about this part back here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the braid first. And I have seen some stories where it's mostly, you know, just monster of the week type thing, and not a lot changes. And that can be fine. It just tends to not be my taste. I don't tend to like the episodic stuff as much. So, in the broadest sense, there you go. You have characters, they're doing stuff, and then by the end of the story, they change. Somehow. Some way. That is what I personally enjoy. Alright, let's get those braids in there. Where does this other one... where did they come out anyway? I see, so they're kind of lined up with this thing. So that means you should be like this. Probably about that length, and we're not going to see very much of it, so I don't have to worry about this one so much. So I will focus all of my time and energy on this part. Okay, so whoop. But yeah, I guess my definition of a good story is why I don't like a lot of modern TV nowadays. Like, I haven't kept up with a lot of anime because I just don't have time to watch it, but I know that I attempted to watch The Boys with my husband, and we just started getting bored after, I want to say, the 3rd season or so, because everyone was still in the same place that they were at the beginning, and they were very hesitant to change anything about the status quo, and it just got a little bit dull. So, it made me a little sad. Because it definitely had promise, but they were just unwilling to let anything change. And let any of their characters develop, or leave the situations that they were in. So... can I say that? Yeah, I suppose repetitiveness is generally a negative. It's also why I couldn't get into Gintama. Because a lot of people say very positive things about that, but I just could not get into it. Because, you know, everything was very status quo, nothing ever really changed that much. And that was just part of the... I actually legitimately think that it was part of the appeal of the show, so I knew that nothing about it would ever change. Just because it was more about haha, funny character dynamic. And, you know, those kinds of shows can be fine. They're just not my taste. So, in general, I'd say just write the thing you want to write, and don't worry about it. I need to tell this to myself, too. Because I'm a major try-hard perfectionist, and I worry about it. But, you know, I should worry about it less. I'm doing my best. I do try. But chilling out is hard, and only sometimes do I succeed. So, you know, we'll see how I feel about the thing I'm writing in 10 years. I've kind of accepted that the nature of personal growth means that there are reasonable odds that I will not like anything that I made 10 years from now. But I don't know. I guess I've gotten to the point where with my art where I could actually look at certain things with it and be like, you know what, that's actually pretty okay. So, it may not be entirely true. Like, even when I look at some of the things I made a few years ago, I'm just like, you know what, that one's alright, actually. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You're not gonna like it? Let's see, I can't really draw the ribbons up there, so you know what? I'm just gonna draw them here. It's fine. They are not gonna be detailed. Let's see, they're both blue, right? Yes, okay. But I mean, it's fine. It's, the way I've been thinking about it is everything that I do is a stepping stone for where I'll be later. So, you know, I'm definitely the last person that should be telling people not to worry about it, but like I said, I think it's important to tell myself too. Because I do think I'd be better off if I didn't worry about it quite so dang much sometimes. It's like, just do the thing, even if it doesn't turn out the way you hope. It'll ultimately help you get to where you'll be 10 years from now. Because if you don't write it now, if you don't write anything now, you're going to be at the same place 10 years from now. And you won't be able to look back at your old work and laugh. But, that'll only be possible if you actually write the old work. And if you don't, you're not gonna get to the point where you can actually do that. So, because you'll be at the same place you are now. The improvement will not be there, and that'll be very sad. Okay, now I can finish off the back hair here. Since I totally forgot that this side exists. Pippa's hair is wild enough that yes, I do, in fact, want to have some just going all over the place. But yeah, it's like I prefer to think of it like that. I know that there are some people that just tell beginners, you know, don't worry. Well, what you make will be great, but odds are no. If you're a beginner, what you make probably won't be very great. But I don't actually see that as a problem. It doesn't matter if you're great from the beginning or not. Like, the odds of you being great from the beginning are really, really low. Some people get that. I do think natural born geniuses exist, but they are quite rare. For most people, you actually have to learn your skills. Yeah, and you have to try a lot and fail a lot and be very upset over how things are going a lot. And it'll be kind of painful. I don't like giving the people just this false sense that they're gonna stick to it right away and that they'll just be, you know, the second coming of art god or something. Like, no, probably not. But, you know, that doesn't mean you shouldn't make the thing. It's fine. Go make the thing. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It'll get you to where you want to go. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. I don't know, it's just one of those things that's always kind of bothered me. I don't like this toxic positivity stuff, because I think it gives people the wrong idea. It's like, I don't want people to act like what they make has to be good in order for it to be worth something, because I don't think that's true. And I think it'll make people worse, or feel worse, because, you know, when they aren't suddenly the best art god of all the world, regardless of what that art might be, then, you know, does that suddenly mean that what they made has no value? And I just don't think that's true. So, you know, don't worry about it. It'll be great. It might be bad, but it'll still be great. Embrace the bad. It's the only way to get to the good. Yep. I don't know how I want the strands to be, but no, that should be fine. Okay, and then back here, I do think I'd want a little bit of yellow on this side, just to kind of pull it back a little. And much like the other side there, I do think I will add just a little bit of texture to it. Just a little. I don't want to overdo it. Not a lot's going to be happening. Okay. Like, in what sense? For myself? Oh, okay, so right now it's, I want to get fast. I want to be faster than what I'm currently doing. And yeah, so that's, I'm paying pretty close attention to the areas that are slowing me down, so pretty much all of that is going to be related to that. And that's, I want to be able to get facial proportions especially right on the first go, rather than having to flail around with them for a while, because I often do that. And then a second... So I started with digital, and I started with realism. So I spent a very long time in the Uncanny Valley. Ooh, and also, it is time to do the lighting. Oh man, I've been looking forward to this part. Okay, so this first layer, I'll get into that in just a sec. I want to explain what I'm doing here, because this part, I love this part. So this first bit, this is just kind of some basic blue atmospheric lighting, and all I'm doing is clearing it away from the areas that are going to be like directly in the light, and making sure that it stays on in places that is not directly in the light. Hello there, Blood Bullet. Welcome back. So I am going to be very particular about that, and every little thing that is not in the light is going to be... Oops. I have to remember that I have to switch to eraser, not a different color. But everything that is not directly in the light is going to have a little bit of a blue tint to it, because I think that makes for a nice snowy atmosphere. So I'm going to take my time going through that. This is where I have to get everything, you know, just right. So I'm not going to mess around with that. And I think I'll add a few kind of lighter places in the fluff, just to make it look a little bit more fluffy. So we'll just have a little bit of the fluff directly facing that. And I'm just going to do that for every little piece. So anything that is not directly in the light is going to get this little blue filter on it. Okay, so now I can go back. So yeah, I started with realism, and yeah, no worries. If you can't come, that's fine, you know? Stream should be fun, and if you got stuff to take care of, no need to stress out. Right, so... yeah, I started with realism, spent much time in the Uncanny Valley, trying to draw things realistically. I don't know, I think it worked out for me. And then at some point, I started drawing more anime-styled stuff and found that I liked it more, so I kept doing it. And so I did that, and I don't really do a lot of studies or anything. I just draw pictures. So I just draw what I want to draw. There were times when I tried to study, but when it came down to it, I just preferred drawing pictures, looking at them, and then thinking about, hey, do I like this thing or do I not? So if you're asking me what I studied, I didn't. Ever. I just drew pictures and tried to make the next one I drew a little bit better than the last. I tried to incorporate new ideas into every one, and I went from there. So I just drew lots and lots of pictures. I did a few photo studies, I guess, but not really. I really only did those when I didn't know what I wanted to draw. So I guess trying to kind of map out my history, I had realism phase, and then I had anime phase, and then I had, once I got into anime phase, I'm just like, man, art styles are so cool. I want to, like, do all of them. And I started experimenting hard with that. Now I have, like, 50 styles, and I don't know. I don't really feel the need to be consistent with them. I don't think it matters. I do whatever one suits the feeling I'm going for, and that's it. Alright, so this ribbon right here is like half in the light and half in the dark. So I'm making sure to kind of capture that feeling here, and I'm gonna put a little bit more light on some of the bunnies. I think realism's useful, but I don't think it's necessary for any kind of detailed stuff. It's useful because it'll let you do just about anything if you really understand it. Huh, I never shaded those. I should do that. Yeah, that's a good way to be. And to an extent, realism will help there. But I don't think you have to go super hard on being able to draw realistic portraits or anything. And frankly, I think that the biggest limitation of, like, true realism is that I don't think it can be done from imagination. I don't think it's possible. Might sound like a weird thing to say, but it is what I believe. If you want to get, like, truly realistic. Like, photorealistic. But if you just want more realistic proportions and stuff, like, yeah, obviously you can draw that from imagination. But I do think it is useful because it will still teach you some things, but it is ultimately why I do not do it anymore. Although even then, I dabble in some semi-realistic stuff occasionally, so how much can I really say that? I don't know, man. I have heard of it. I have only watched small portions of it. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Oh, I got teleported back to trim. Okay. Krita, why you gotta be like this? Okay, and then I think this ribbon is catching just a little bit of the light here. So I'll get that and right here. Cool, I mean, it was pretty popular back in its time, so. I just never watched much of it. I see. Okay, and I think that's all of the boot that's directly in the light there. You can see that I am taking my time much more than I did the last time I messed around with this, because, you know, now it's actually time to finalize it all. Get everything where it needs to be. So that is the point where I gotta take my time. I think that this is a little bit in the light there. And really make sure that every frill that needs to be in the light is actually in the light. Every frill and every ribbon. I can no longer mess around, but I think that's good there. Let's see, how's her face? I think I'd already done a bunch of the hair, but no, I can do the hair better. This should not be in the light here. Like I said, this... I only erase on places that are, like, directly in the light. Anything that is even slightly indirect, nah, we erase. Or, no, we have blue. Yes. So, like, I do think that this is getting hit by the light quite a lot. But only the hair there. I don't think any of this is, but I do think this is. None of this hair is, so let's get that out of there. This is, like, the most directly in the light anything could be. So make sure that none of the hair has blue in it. All through here. This, I think, should be dark. And the animals are in a different layer, so I'm gonna do their lighting later. Maybe today, we shall see. I think a lot of this ear is going to be very much in the light there, so I'll leave it like that. Okay, and then I do think that a little bit of this catches it. Not all of where I have the highlights, though. Not all of it. Only some. And the hair back here, I do think actually catches light. Only part of it on this side, though. Okay, so there we go. First layer, just a little bit of atmospheric coloring to make it more winter. Now is when we get into the real light. So the first thing, and I mentioned this when I was working last time, I wanted this to be darker. We need more contrast here. My contrast is woefully insufficient. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna grab this color here, and I am gonna put it on my swatch, so that this way I can grab it whenever I want. But that is better. And this is my original one. You can see how much darker the new one is. I'm just using a dark purple here. Okay. So I have this, like, half done. I might need to do some fluffing out on the fluffy parts for all this, but I think I'm going to do that at the end. Okay, let's get rid of that residue there, and now I'm going in. I'm going to go in, and I'm really going to bring out all the parts that I think should be quite dark. So this time, I get to care about the indirect lighting a little bit more. So anything that I just feel like should not be made darker will get lights. And for a lot of that, that's going to be a lot of the hair. So I think I'm actually going to select the hair separately here. So I don't think any of this should be dark. Over here should definitely be dark, though, because we got the bunny. Got the little bunny there. I don't think her ears should be dark. And the other nice part about this is that I can kind of have a gradient. So it doesn't have to be on or off, since I'm using a very, very soft style here. So I can kind of decide to make some places, you know, a little bit darker, but not necessarily completely dark. And I do enjoy that greatly. So I think I want her bangs to be a little bit lighter here. And I'll add a few little hints of darkness and just some of the shadows I think need to be a little bit deeper. So kind of through here, and a little bit through here. I actually think a lot of the back of the head here should be a little bit darker. Kinda. I mean, like I said, I don't generally do dedicated studies or anything, but I am aware of the basics. I could probably explain it if I had to, but a lot of it is honestly super arbitrary. But when it comes to studying art, I still think that most people would be better off unless they have a teacher, of just looking at their own art and saying, okay, I like this, I don't like this. How can I make the next picture better? As opposed to studying. And I guess that's only half true, because when you're trying to understand how to make things a little bit better, it can be useful to look up some theory on how other people have solved this problem to give you ideas on what to do. But that's the only time that I think study is really useful. I don't think it's something you should do before you're drawing what you want to be drawing. Short answer, yes, I do know color theory. Yes. And then you go draw the thing. Because, I mean, you gotta like what you're doing, because if you don't, you're gonna quit. And you're gonna have a miserable time up until you quit. And the only reason to avoid drawing what you want to draw right from the beginning is because you don't think you're good enough. And, you know, like I've already said, you're totally good enough. Everyone's good enough right from the start. Even my 3-year-old is good enough. Keep going, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. And by the time you get there, it probably won't be where you want to be anymore. And then you'll have more journey ahead of you. So, you know, don't worry about it. Okay, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more light in the eye here. I'm still gonna keep this side a little bit darker, but I want it a little bit brighter than this. And then I kind of want a little bit on the cheek here, just because I think it'll be cute. I don't care if it's realistic or not. If it's cute, I do it. Let's get just a little bit of light around there. The face! As I always say, you don't mess around with the face. So I will do every little bit of work to try to bring out the face as much as possible. Do a little bit of more light on the lower lip here. And a little bit of dark in a specific spot on the chin. But yeah, the big reason I say don't study ahead of time is because, you know, people will say, hey, you know, this is how you do a gesture drawing, but, like, if you don't know what gestures are supposed to, what problem they're supposed to solve and what getting good at them is supposed to help you with, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to be able to imitate more experienced artists, and that's not useful at all. So, you know, just figure out what you want to fix, and then, you know, spend some time maybe trying to solve it yourself, and if you find yourself getting stuck, now that's a good time to go out and look to see how other people have solved it. Because then, at the very least, you'll know what problem you're trying to fix, and when you go and draw stuff again, if you find that problem is doing better, then you'll know that you have successfully learned the thing. Yeah, sure, any knowledge will. Any knowledge will. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to study electromagnetic fields, it will help you improve your art. How? I haven't the foggiest, but it probably will, just due to the nature of how the brain works. Does that mean I think you should go study electromagnetic fields in order to improve your art? No. Because, I mean, I've seen people just do, like, these 100 cube challenges where they draw 100 cubes in perspective, and I'm just like, dude, that is so not gonna help you. Not unless you know exactly what you're gonna do with those cubes that you are drawing. So, you know, draw the things first, make the mistakes, and then you will understand what problems these things are supposed to help you with. Study is not a substitute for actually drawing things that you want to draw. I'd say the time that just raw study is the best is when you don't know what to draw, but you feel like drawing. When you have tons of passion in your heart, and you just want to draw something, but you don't know what. Either one, draw Hatsune Miku. That advice has never failed me yet. Or two, you know, study. That's a good time for it. I'd say that's about the only point that I have ever done any true studying. Just, there's been a couple of points where I wanted to draw something, but I didn't know what, so I drew fruit or something. And just really paid attention to it. Again, exception. If you have a teacher, listen to your teacher. If you have a teacher, listen to them. You can take their word for things. Let's see, where's the hair? Yeah, I need this one now. Okay. I want to take some of the shadow out of the hair. No, not down there, just up here. Okay. And the strands. Where do I have the strands anyway? Loose strands, here we are. I want to take some of the shadows out of those. But there we go, I think that's good for the face. Yeah, that's a pretty cute little face. I approve. Okay. I still have to do the light. But this is fine for now. Okay. So now I want to get the shadows everywhere else. And I do think that I will make a lot of this fluffy just at the end, as opposed to right now. Because like here, for example, needs a lot of fluffing. But I don't really want to do it just yet. Why? I don't know. I could do it right now. I just don't want to. And that's fine. I'm not going to make myself do it right now. Where's the coat? Fluff. Okay. I will, however, erase all the parts that I want to be a little bit lighter here. And then adjust on the other side here. Yeah, all this should be dark. Okay. Yeah, those are good places to start. I appreciate that you said proportions instead of anatomy. Proportion, I would say, is more important than anatomy, but everybody always wants to study anatomy and like bone structure and stuff, and I'm just like, don't do it. Don't do it, friend. Okay, so here we're getting a little bit of like reflected light and stuff. That's why this part stayed blue, but I'm getting rid of the darkness here. It kind of... There's like some rim light going on here, so the sun is hitting her over there just a little bit. I might even add some more colors there later. So I'm letting a little bit more light come onto the couple of the frills here, but not a lot. I'm gonna do the same with the little bows right through here. I should probably select those, actually, just because they're so small. There we go. Okay, like I said, gonna fluff that later. I think a little bit of the sleeve here hits the light, almost certainly. Right here, too. If we're talking rim light there. And I think just a small hint of this does, and also on the buttons. And I think just a hint of some of the frills here still hits the light. Where are my buttons? There's my buttons. Okay. So I think just a little bit of light sneaks through here. Okay, now I want the ribbons again. So that this way I can let these guys hit the light as they need. Okay. So I'd say we're almost there. A lot of it was really just making sure that the face is to my liking. You know, you don't mess with the face. The face must always be perfect. So that was the big thing. And now that that's done, the rest is much faster. The rest is much faster. Let's see, that spot should not be blue. I can see a little bit of blue residue in there. Okay. There we go. That's better. And now I'll just finish lighting the rest of the dress here. I think right here hits the light a little bit. Through here, this side definitely hits it. I think even the backside does a little bit, so I'll put a little bit in there. I'm just gonna select the ribbons. Yeah, just do the things. Figure out what you want to do. Try it. Fail a lot. It'll be great. It's a good time. Welcome on the journey of pulling your hair out. Lighting was always the most fun for me. I think that's why I adapted this kind of process where I'm basically just worried about lights from the beginning. Let's see, you I don't think hits the light, but I think you do a little bit. So I'll get that over there. And then I think these guys do a little as well. Not as much as I currently have it, though. Those guys got a little bit lit up. Because no, I think only like the very edge here hits it. I love lighting, though. It is so much fun. And with a lot of this being rim light, I want to make sure that I hit both sides of things. And like the underside of her dress here, for example. This will get a lot of light through here, more than you might expect. But there's a reason rim light is so stylish. Okay. And I think I want a little bit more dark right through here. Okay, and you know what? Before I move on, I think I will go ahead and make it fluffy on the places that need to be fluffy. I'll do that now before I do the last bit of light. Oh, I love this part, though. This is when things start looking really good. I mean, even before I finish it off, just look at the difference. Like, this is what it was before. And then I just added, like, a simple blue filter and then just a little bit more shadow. And it's like... just wait until I had the light. Alright, let's go ahead and make this all fluffy. It's huge. Love lighting. And I find it a lot easier to do it like this than trying to fully comprehend everything right at the beginning and get all the colors right. Like, I could do that, but you know what? This works well too. Well, I mean, it's your comic. Go ahead and make it however you want. There's nothing wrong with Monster of the Week stuff. Lots of people like it. Something not being my taste doesn't mean it's bad. There are lots of people out there that do Monster of the Week. Alright, let's fluff this out. It's gonna be so fluffy. Right here needs to be fluffy too. Let's make it just ridiculously fluffy, like everything else. I do love drawing fluffy things. It is so much fun. I just like drawing clothes in general, honestly. But fluffy things. Fluffy things will always have a special place in my heart. I love them. I love me the fluff. I mean, most stories are linear. Unless you're doing a piece of interactive media, I don't see how you'd make it non-linear. Like, my husband's working on a game that's very, very non-linear, and lots of stuff actually affects the course of the story. But this is not the norm. Because he's making a game and not a comic, so... Alright, let's see. This is still not fluffy enough. Let's go make it fluffier. Let's go make it fluffier. I am just not satisfied. And being unsatisfied to the level of floofing something fluffy, well, that's just unforgivable in my opinion. So I figured I'd go and make it fluffy. Let's get this the way I want it to be. Okay, and then there's a couple more places that need to be fluffed a little, like through here. I don't think I have a lot of darkness through here. Most of this is light. I'll go ahead and fluff it up a little. Let's see, you need to be a little fluffier. Right through here. And then there's a little bit of fluff right here, and on the boots. Definitely need some fluff. Definitely want some fluff there. Very important. And then I think I'm actually going to select that ribbon a little and take a little bit off the edge there. Get some proper rim light in there. No, I think that's fine. Okay. Okay, and then the bottom of the dress here, that also needs to be fluffed. That very much needs to be fluffed. Because nothing will look right until it is. And I guess I'll go ahead and fluff out the blue parts as well, since I skipped doing that. Because I see a little bit over here that needs to be fluffed. Okay, let's go get the blue parts now, too. There we go. There we go. You should be fluffier. Be fluffy. I demand it. And this is my universe, so I get to do what I want. If I say it's gonna be fluffy, it's gonna be fluffy. These guys are fluffy too. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see, we need a little bit of floof through here. And there we go. Okay, time to add the light. I've been looking forward to this part too. I think this is when the last little bit really comes together. I think I want it to be even lighter. We're just really gonna make it bright. Let's see. Oh, I only have you on hard light. Maybe I don't need to make it brighter than... Okay, let me see. What if I set you to like addition or color dodge and actually make it a little darker? Because that can potentially make things sing a lot too. Maybe I do like hard light better. I don't know, I kind of like that. Indeed. It's a good way to look at it. It's okay, just do the thing. The worst thing you can do is sit still, so go do a thing. It'll be great. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the initial one on hard light and then I'll add another layer on color dodge. I'm gonna do that together here. So I know that this color is gonna be way too light, but I'm gonna just start with it there on the places that just really need to be bright. Just super duper bright. Oh, I still have you set to erase. No wonder nothing's changing. So kind of like on the side of the nose here, and maybe a little bit on the mouth. A little bit on the hair here, like all of this. This might be too much, actually. I like overdoing it, though. Overdoing it makes me happy. Okay, well, I'll start plopping some stuff down and I'll adjust the colors accordingly. Okay, now beam. You know what? I should use beam for, like, the areas that are going to be directly in the light here. So, okay. I'm gonna use my current light layer. Pretty sure I have a lighter color there now. Yep. Let me go add it to my swatch. So I'll go use this layer for now. And like I said, I want to do both this and like the brightest light together. But I want to get started with this one and just the areas that I think the light generally hits. So this will be like a lot of the reflected light and stuff like that too. Just areas that I do think need to be a little bit brighter. Gonna be most everything back there. Get a little bit on her dress here. A little bit on the side of this ribbon, and maybe just a touch over here. Just a touch. A little bit less through here. And right now, I'm just getting the basics down. Just the basics. I will go back over it and make it nice in a little bit. But I want to make sure that I get this and the super bright lights that I want to put in done together. I think it'll come out nicer that way, and I can really make things glow. This is always the spot that kind of makes or breaks things for me. I like it a lot. Well, all right then. Hey, whatever works. All right, and now I'll do my beam. Because I think I want a little bit more light on the nose and some kind of around the hair. On, like, the brightest parts of the hair. See, this is why I love the light the best. I mean, it is just so satisfying. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I see. Fascinating. Okay. I can't say I know that much about buses. I tend to avoid public transportation when I can. Or, you know, going outside at all, for that matter. Okay, don't think I want it to be quite that bright. But it's not bad. Just a little darker there. Yeah. And then I can hopefully grab my beam color. I think I have a couple of spots where I pressed really hard. So hopefully it's somewhere around there. Oh wait, that's multiply. I want you on normal. Okay. And then I can really just bring out the last little bits in the hair here. And the ear. But yeah, you know what? Once I finish making this look nice, that'll be Pippa done, and then I can get started on all the background stuff. I mean, I've done a fair amount of the background stuff. I've rendered a lot of the animals already, but none of them are to that level. Oh, I really love the light. Oh, it makes me so happy. Okay, just needed a quick stretch there. I see. It's okay, like I said, I wouldn't know the difference. I don't know very much about buses. I do know nothing. Okay, let's just get all of this nice and bathed in light. So this is where I want to get particular again. Because now it is time to clean everything up. So I kind of want to get some of the light in her eyes here. Gotta press nice and hard on that. And let's see. Maybe just a little bit less in the pupil. But the rest I think looks fine. I approve. Okay, and I think I want a little bit more kind of around her, not the upper lip, the lower lip. Lower lip here. And around the nose. The nose is definitely going to be catching a lot of light there. So like I said, this is where I get particular, and I think it's important to be very, very particular around the face and her hair. And I tend to get a little bit less particular as I get into the clothes and stuff. So I'm just gonna plop a bunch of color down for now. And I'm gonna take it away in a few spots around her hair. I am gonna do that. Just because I do think that there are a few places that should be just a little bit darker. Just a little bit. Like right here. Probably through here. Oh no, no. That back here should definitely be bright. It definitely should be. I think most of this should be, so I'm just gonna plop it down for now. And then I'll take away the few places that I think should be a little bit darker. So that'll be in some of the folds of the cloak here. Those should be a little darker, and I'm gonna grab her hair again. Just so I can more cleanly erase around her hair. There we go. Oh, bus community, you know, I can believe it. It's okay, you know? There are appreciation for all kinds of things, and I think everyone should enjoy the marvels of human engineering. Humans do cool things. All the time. Okay. Let's soften that up a little. Okay, now I can kind of get to the other side of her hair. There are definitely a few places that I think should be lit on that side. Let's see. I think I just want this part of her hair right now. I want a little bit of light through here, but not on this dark spot. Okay. So now I want, you know, just a little bit more light coming on this ribbon. Just a little bit there. Okay. And then over here, I want just a little bit of light, maybe right here, and kind of along this part. Okay, and then the hair back here I think should be lit. Maybe not quite that strongly, but it definitely should be lit. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to come out. I can see it. Okay, so let's see. This part of the hair... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and select the hair. This part of the hair should have some light. And I think, actually, that this part should too. But I want to be kind of sparing with the light here. Are you a shadow that I didn't fix? Because, yeah, that shadow right there is not blended at all. I don't know how I left it like that. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But there we go. I made it better. All is well. I think I'll put a little bit of light around the specular highlight in this eye, but that's it. Okay, and then down here. Okay. And here should definitely be very, very light. I just want the back of her cloak there to glow. I do think that this will always be my favorite part. Everything just looks so much better after I put it all on. And you know what? It's making me feel better about what I think I'm going to have to do to make the mountains look good here. Because this is, I think, starting to fade a little bit too much into the background. So, you know, it's good news, because it means that I can afford to put a mountain there and not have it just swallow her sleeve or the hat there. So I think I can make this work. I will have some things to try next time. Or, you know, maybe today if I end up finishing the light faster than I expect. But I like to take my time on the lighting. Sometimes it comes fast, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't really matter much either way, as long as it looks nice. That is definitely the important part. It's gotta look really good. Because I just always feel like this is the point where everything just really comes together. When I finally get to put in all my lights. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's wonderful. And it just always makes me so happy. I cannot gush enough. I'll never be able to gush enough. Okay, and let's see. What's my comics genre? It's going to be dark fantasy. I am somewhat limited in what I feel like I can talk about right now. It's like I know the basics of the plot, and I will definitely talk about it more once I feel like I have a handle on where everything's going, and that this is indeed going to be the one that I finally finish. But I'd like to kind of get to that point first. I don't want to reward myself too much until I actually do the hard work of writing it. But yeah, I guess just a basic plot synopsis. So it follows this girl who is basically kidnapped by this ultra powerful, clearly not human thing, and it's humanoid, but she definitely makes it quite clear early on that she is not human. But and the story is largely about her trying to get away from that thing. And she is, you know, pretty weak and sickly, and the thing is extremely, like, could probably take on a country by herself, a tier strong. And mostly just about her attempts to, you know, gain support and doing whatever she can to try to get control over her life there. Oh, I have the wrong color. No wonder things are looking weird. Let's fix that. I thought I was such we race, but I was not. Okay. So I think I've almost got this part of the light done. Let's take a look. Yeah, so far so good. And now for the lightest parts. I think I want a tiny little light on her cheek there because that will be cute. Just a tiny little guy. Oh yeah, that's very cute. I like it a lot. And you know, as always, anytime you want to post art, I do check all the platforms that I am on. I see. Very conceptual. Alright, so just time to put the last few lights on the spots that are just in the brightest areas. So that's gonna be like the part of the hair facing the sun directly. Anyway, I do wish you luck on writing all that out. You know, conceptual stuff can be pretty hard. So good luck, I'm sure it'll be great. I see. You did not get erased properly. I should fix that. Where's the hat? Okay, and... oh, I think I see what happened. It's probably the transparency mask that's incorrect. Okay. Well, that's easy enough to fix. We just blacklist, or whitelist right here, rather. Get that part of the sleeve to go back behind like it should. And then I will fluff out the edge of the sleeve. Actually, I don't have to. I already have the edge of the sleeve somewhere around here somewhere. Where's the dress fluff? Did I put it on the coat fluff layer? I think I might have. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Just a small error there, no big deal. Oh, but I accidentally overwrote my beam color, alas. Let's try to find it again. Right around there, I think should be good. Oh yeah, I do check all of the platforms that I'm on. Unfortunately, I probably won't join more platforms right now, because I'm already on too many. But, hey, if you ever feel up to posting it on Twitter or Instagram or something, you know, I'm there and I'll take a look. You know, no judgment if you don't want to be on other social media too. It's kind of a hellhole, but it is a good way to share some art occasionally. Why did you teleport me all the way down there? Why you gotta be that way, Krita? Okay, there we go. I was wondering why nothing was changing. I just wanted a little bit more light on some of this hair. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Is anything else needs to be bright? Maybe like right through here. Right here, I think looks really, really good when it's just super lit up like that. I just think that's really beautiful. And then I might put a little bit more shine on some of the ribbons here. But yeah, there we go. I think that's it for her. I do need to make some stuff fluffy, but you know, that's not hard at all. Okay. Come through here, fluff out all of this. Just get everything super fluffy. Because it all must be fluffy. Definitely must be fluffy. And then back here needs to be fluffed. But there we go. I think that's everything that needs... oh, wait, no. There's probably some down here, too. I'm pretty sure I put some light down here. Almost certainly. So let's go ahead and fluff that up too. Alright, there we go. I think that is it for Pippa. Let's go turn on some of these other things. I might end up lighting the foreground a little bit more. I don't know. It seems pretty okay. But there we go. Okay, I'm much happier than with it than I was at the start of all this. So let's see. What do I want to do next? You know what? Now seems like a good time to go up and finish all the animals that I started. So I can get their dark and light parts and kind of correct some of the things that have been bothering me. So I'm going to start with this little guy here. I didn't like how that little part that sticks out on his chest was connecting into his leg. So I figured I'd just kind of push this out a little. There we go. Yeah, that was just one of those things that was bothering me. And then this guy over here had some parts that were not properly fluffed. And that is just unforgivable. So I figure I gotta fix that. And then I think I want just a tiny bit of fluff around the nose. Just a tiny little bit. Same with this guy. Needs just a little fluff around the nose. Maybe around the eyes too. Just teeny tiny bit. And then I do want to fix the eyelashes on there a little as well. I don't know, something about them is just not working for me. Oh, is it because I have foreground turned on right now? It's alright, we'll get rid of the foreground. So here we go. Let's make those eyelashes a little fluffier and nicer looking. Just gotta find the right way to spike it all up. Actually, I think for you, the answer might be put a little bit more fur kind of around here. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe I'll do a little bit on you, too. Okay. So strictly speaking, I haven't rendered this bunny yet, but you know what? It's fine. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get the dark and light everywhere else, and I'll render the bunny later. I'm in a lighting mood. I just want to do, like, lighting all day, every day. And, okay, there is one more thing I have to do before that, and that's... I need to get the snow colors around the hooves here. Just so that this way they look like they're actually standing in the snow. Don't mind the color difference right now. I'll fix it at some point. I kind of want to have the snow fully rendered before I worry about that, which makes putting the light on here awkward, but you know what? I don't care. I want to do it right now. And then I was thinking about it, and I think I'm going to move the snowman into the animal group. Just so that this way, I can light the snowman at the same time as the rest of the animals. So, you know, same process that I was doing before. I'm going to start with the blue filter. And I'll just erase the places that are directly in the light. You know, I'll just take my sweet time. I'm going to turn the swatch back on, just so I can pull the colors I need whenever I need them. So this is only for places directly in the light. The rest will have this lovely little blue filter on them. Make everything blend together a little bit more. Make everything just a little bit more cohesive. So I'll just gently go through all of that. And then this is you know, clipped onto everything else in this layer group. So I don't have to worry about getting it on Pippa or anything. It all will be safely tucked away, only affecting the layers that I want it to. And at some point, I really do need to go through and fix all the snow and stuff. The snowflakes are just all quite large. I think most of this hat is going to be in the light, actually. Just, it's in the right area for it. And this ear definitely will be. Okay. So I think that's good for the blue filter, so now we can start getting the dark. I don't know, drawing feels good. It's pretty normal. It's good to enjoy what you're doing. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna put everything in shadow right now, and then take away the areas that I don't think should be in shadow. I think that'll be easier for me to understand. And I'm not gonna worry about the bunny there yet. He can... Oh yeah, that's right, I also have the bunny up there. Ooh, okay, I gotta... Yeah. I mean, when you're in the mood to draw, everything feels pretty good. It is definitely a great feeling. I'm definitely feeling it today because I have been looking forward to lighting this for so long, and I am just so glad that I finally get to do it. So this bunny is very, very well lit. Okay. Now I can go and do the shadows. Okay. I don't like this watch. It's covering some stuff I actually need to care about. You know what, since I forgot you guys last time, I'll start with you guys this time. So here we have just... This bunny is very, very lit up. I will definitely have to do some things to make everything appropriately fluffy, but I'm just going to go ahead and get everything in first. These animals are extremely fluffy. Extremely fluffy. Oh yeah, that's right. I also wanted to do a little bit more with the animals' mouths, or the deer specifically. Okay, you know what? I should do that first. Okay. I hold off on light for just a little bit longer for the sake of art. Okay, let's see. I don't want it to be quite black, but I need something darker than what I have here, so let's see. We'll take you. I don't feel like doing a whole thing, so I'm just gonna pick a color. Maybe somewhere around here. I think it need to be a little darker. But the general area that the color is in is appropriate. I just wanted to give him a little smile. And then I'll go in and make him a little fluffy. Okay, let's go in and make that just a little fluffy, make it a little bit less cheesy looking. Kind of blend it in a little bit there. Hi, yes, I've watched both the original and Brotherhood. I prefer Brotherhood overall. Not surprising, I am mostly a manga snob. I don't watch much anime, but I do read a lot of comics. I think it's important to read a lot of comics if you want to write a comic. Okay. I think Brotherhood is better. I do. Alright, I still want to have my shadow color handy in case I need it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's better. It does expect that you've watched the original, but I do think it is better. Go figure. Actually, you know, following the manga and what the original author intended resulted in the better thing. I hate all these people that act like they can write a better story than what the original author wrote. It drives me nuts. Did it? Admittedly, I never watched... I never actually read the manga. I probably should at some point, but... I've just always hated that. Modern anime has been much more faithful, and I appreciate that a lot. Pretty much. I mean, if it's a proper adaptation, it'll have some. It's kind of inevitable because anime and comics are different forms. Cartoons and comics are different mediums and have, you know, different strengths and weaknesses. So, I mean, some of that's why it's called an adaptation. But I don't think the story should be changed. Like, at all. Maybe some parts about the pacing, maybe certain other things. Maybe certain scenes have to be changed up a little bit in order to make it clearer in the anime or to emphasize certain things that anime is better at than manga. I don't know. But I don't think the story should be changed. I was very much a manga elitist for a long time. I wouldn't say I've necessarily stopped. It's just that anime's gotten better at it, so I haven't felt the need to complain. Let's see, do you have proper dark on you? 'Cause you don't look like it. Okay, there we go. That's better. I do not miss filler. Filler is the worst creation of all mankind. Please continue the story. Go from one big thing to the next. It's great. The story should move at the pace the story should move at. If a scene does not have to exist, if the scene does not affect the story, then it should be destroyed. Universally, in my opinion. I hate it. And I have strong feelings about it. I just hate intentionally ruining nice things for what is essentially the sake of profit. It drives me nuts. I hate it. Terrible. If it progresses the story, it is not filler, by definition. The reason filler existed is because certain shows wanted to keep a weekly time slot. And to do that, they had to, you know, make episodes. And if they didn't, then they couldn't keep the time slot. So they just made up random stuff. They wrote bad fan fiction where nothing happens. And then said, here you go, here's more. And it's awful. Awful! And I will never forgive. Look, I will always have a special place for shonen slop in my heart, and they tend to get hit the hardest by filler. So I will never forgive. Just cede the slot to someone else for a while. Unfortunately, anime's gotten better about this, too. Yes. I'm not too bothered if they need to stop to let the manga catch up for a while. That's fine. My Hero Academia did it fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with capitalizing on something while it's popular, but, you know, just pause the show. Do it seasonally. Let the manga finish. And then you can do your thing. And if, you know, you're like me and don't have a lot of time to watch things, then, you know, you can just wait for it to finish if you want to binge it. That's how I tend to watch things. Oh yeah, I still have to draw that bird too. Oh, that's fine. I can do that later. Right now, I want to just get some lighting here. Oh yeah. We'll get a little bit of lighting on this guy, this little deer. Need to get all the spots that hit here. I should probably just select it, but I already have to make it fluffy anyway, so this is fine. I'll just do it like this. Out the back. Well, I mean, making good stuff takes time. You either deal with it, or you wait until it finishes. And I think that's the way to go. Because, let's be real, filler isn't more, it's filler. It's just bad. It's just bad fanfiction. If you want bad fanfiction, just go read some stuff on the internet. Or write it yourself. There you go, you can make your own filler if you want. It's pretty easy with all the sharing methods we have out there. You know, anybody can write their own derivative work based on something they like now. And lots of people can see it, and lots of people do see it. It's fantastic. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, just... You know, once you work all that out, you can just start writing it. It'll be great. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm just gonna make it fluffy now. I wasn't too worried about the atmosphere part because it didn't look that bad, but here it's very noticeable to me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make it fluffy now. Let's get everything nice and fluffy. I don't want to overdo the fluff on the deer. They're short hair. Deer are not especially fluffy. In fact, I think even that looks too fluffy. Let me get a smaller brush here. Or zoom in a little bit and maybe get slightly... Okay, that's as far back as I can go. That's fine. Just fluff this little guy out here. Let him be as fluffy as his fur allows. Oh god, I'm so happy I get to do the lighting today. I've been looking forward to this day for weeks now. And now I'm here, getting to make it all fluffy. Okay, and I want a little bit taken away back there, I realize. I did not do that. So let's do that now. I mean, I don't think you have to make plans for how you do things right now. I guess it's fine to think about it a little bit, but I don't think you're gonna know what you need to do until you do it. So, you know, stop worrying about it. Just go do it. Go do the thing. If your pencil is not on the paper or your fingers are not typing a script, you are not working on it. You are just thinking, and that is not useful. So, go do the thing. Sometimes you have to think a little bit. Sometimes you need time for ideas to percolate, you know, that's fine. But don't mistake it for actually getting something done. Just go do the thing, man! Don't worry about it. Go make it, it'll be great. You can do it, I believe in you. And it's not like you can't do these things, right? It's totally fine if you feel like it's helpful. Just, you know, don't mistake it for actually getting something done. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Just make it happen. This is why idea people are the worst. The people that are just like, oh yes, hello, good artist. I have an idea for something that you can make. Or hello, game designer, I have an idea for a game. It's like, well, can you code it? No, but I can be an excellent source of ideas. And I'm like, well, I don't need help with ideas. I got plenty of those. Go do your thing. I've had people like that in my life before. That's why I say don't worry about it. The ideas will come, and, you know, sometimes you have to let them percolate. It's fine. I do it all the time. But it's not gonna get anything done. No, it is not. And I do not think creatives should pretend like plotting is actually doing anything. If your fingers are not on the keyboard, nothing is happening. Or your hand on the canvas. Whatever canvas that might be. Oh yeah, deer's fluffy. Deer's so fluffy. I like him a lot. These animals just look so happy. Look at this derpy little guy. I haven't even drawn him yet, and I just love him. He makes me ridiculously happy. Oh yeah, and now I'm drawing a bunny, which I get to make ridiculously fluffy. Today is a good day. Today is a very good day. I am glad I woke up this morning. Anyway. Let's draw a bunny. I'll definitely have to do a little bit more to get these guys into the snow. But I guess this isn't the worst for now. A little bit more dark around here. There we go. Maybe a little bit more through here too. Okay, there we go. He looks like he's rolling around having a great time. So I strongly approve. Okay. Oh, why are you so much darker than everything else? I guess you're not. I'm just hallucinating. You know, fair enough. That happens sometimes. I don't feel like there's enough dark on this part of the leg, so I'm kinda... I'm just gonna put it back into the airbrush. And then I'll go ahead and... make it fluffy. Okay, now I can go and make it fluffy. Gotta make it fluffy. Okay, that's pretty fluffy. Look at that little guy. Just running around having a great time here. Building a lovely little snowman. Okay. So this part, I think actually already looks pretty reasonably fluffy. So I don't think I have too much to do through here. I will fluff out his little head here, though. Try to pull some of that purple down here. Since this guy is mostly backlit. And then I think there's a little bit around the legs here. But the row over here is not super visible. Okay, so now I just have these two bunnies over here, and that'll be the dark on them. I think I have enough time to do the light before I have to go. Today, my daughter gets to play some basketball. So that'll be a fun time to watch. She's too little to really play properly, but it's still fun to watch. I gotta say, just in general, she's way cuter than these bunnies I'm drawing. But to be fair, it's pretty hard to get cuter than her. I don't consider that a knock on my skill at all. She's just way too dang cute. Okay, let's go ahead and texturize the snowman a little bit. Where's that brush? I think I was using this one. Yep, there we go. I just want a little bit more snow texture in here. And I think I want a little bit of the splatter going on as well. I think that'll make it look a little bit more snowy. This one? Maybe the other one. Yeah, if I'm really sparing on this one, I think it'll look pretty good. Just gotta be very, very gentle with it, because it's very easy to overdo things with this particular brush. Very, very easy. Oh, I forgot to... Oh well. I think I can just do it with this one, it's fine. But yeah, it's real easy to overdo it with that one. Real easy. Okay, and then similarly... I'm gonna use the eraser to kind of take back a few spots here. Just so that... I don't know, I think it'll make things look a little bit more snowy. This was my plan all along. I was never quite happy with the texturing of the snowman. But I had this idea in my head, so I knew that it would work out in the end. And I could make him look nice and snowy. Okay. So there we go. I think that's good. So let's get this. We're all lit now. I think that color looks fine. So, well, I'm just gonna get the color that I have in my swatch, I think. I don't know. Do I like this color better? You know what? You don't look so good. I'll have to fix that. Any tips for someone who started like 2 days ago? I'd say the first thing that you want to do is you want to think about why you wanted to learn how to draw in the first place, and then draw the things that you want to draw. And then try drawing lots of different things and figure out what you'd like to draw. I honestly consider that to be the most important thing for a new artist. Just go out there, make cool things. Draw all the things you want, even if you don't think you have the skill for it yet. And then, once you've done that, you can look at your picture, and you can think about which parts of the picture you like and which parts of the picture you don't like. You can think about which things were fun to draw and which things were not fun to draw, and go from there. Because I think that the first thing that any beginner should worry about is falling in love with drawing stuff. Because if you don't, you're going to have a really hard time sticking with it long enough to get good. So love what you do. And I think that is the single most important first step. So go out there and go draw the things you wanted to draw. Go draw the things that made you really want to draw. It'll be hard, but it's worth it, I promise. It'll feel great once you kind of start getting the hang of things. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the bird. Yeah, you gotta be fluffed a little bit, little bird. Can't believe I forgot him again. Sounds good. And hey, if you need some help doing that, I do think... Yeah, just start with trying it, see what happens, see what you can do right now. And if you're having a hard time figuring out what to do from there, I think this is a good time to go look at some artists that you like and think about why you like them. What is it about their art that makes it cool? That makes it awesome? And what things would you like to be able to do too? And then, you know, try some of that. Go from there. It takes some time to get good. Faces are very, very hard. Just because humans are so predisposed to looking at faces that once they're even just a little bit off, they look really strange. So don't worry, faces are extremely difficult. But with enough practice, you'll get there. It'll come together eventually. Some of my favorites. Now that's a good question. Let's see, ones that I reference occasionally. I'll type a couple in chat. A lot of them do things that I don't, but I'll type a couple. The first one is as an alternate spelling of the same. So there's like two ways it can be spelled, just due to romanization of Japanese artists. Ooh, let's see. Is there anyone else that I've looked at recently? Because I mean, I did a collection at some point, but frankly, I don't remember half of them, and haven't been referencing a lot of artists lately. Yeah, let's do that one too. Here, these are some reasonable ones to get you started. They're all extremely different, and I tend to like extremely weird things. Was there anything that who was it that I was referencing for this kind of style? I can't actually remember. Oh no. I am terrible at following my own advice sometimes, but I have been looking around at other artists lately. I just can't remember who they are. That just sounds really mean to say, but I have memory problems. Let's see, I think Ichikai is only on Pixiv. Pin and Nagu are both on YouTube and Twitter, or X, excuse me. So I think you can find both of them there. Nagu you can find as the VTuber Ninomaya Inonis. I'll write that out too, if you're not familiar with VTubers. So she also streams art sometimes, so... Also a good one to watch, she's quite good. I don't think Pin normally streams, but he has some good time lapses, so... Alright. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. I'm probably gonna have to go pretty soon, but hey, at least you get to see me have some fun with lighting. I have been looking forward to lighting this picture for a long time. And I'm glad that I finally get to do it. Just, an idea of what I did today. This is what things looked like before. Because I finally finished rendering the character, and then I finally got to put all the lights on, and I'm just like, ah. So, it's probably a little bit early to do it for the animals, but, you know what? It's fine. I wanted to do it. So I said, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Thank you very much. So now I just gotta make the deer fluffy again. The nose will not be fluffy, but everything else will. Yeah, I probably do want a hard edge there. Although no, okay. I was a little bit too reliant on the opacity on the brush here. And I do agree that it is a little bit too light when I press fully. There we go. That's a little bit better. Every time I go and look at the deer, I can tell that I have never drawn a deer before. But you know what? It's okay. I made it work. And yeah, I do not like your level of floof here, so I better fix that. There we go. That's a little better. Because the light wasn't gonna fix the floof problem. And you know, if something's supposed to be a little bit fluffy, and I don't make it fluffy, I just think that's just a huge shame. Let's see, I think I actually want a little bit less light on the tummy. I still want it to be rim light, so I want there to be a little bit there, but I think it's just a little bit too bright here. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit. And then go back to painting. Go back to making him fluffy. Yes. Oh yeah, he's all about the light art. And I do not do anything like that, but I think his art is amazing. And I mean, I have like more art styles than I can count. This is just one of them. So I just kind of draw in whatever way I think suits the mood of the painting. I do not use any line art regardless. Sometimes I'll add lines after the fact. Occasionally I do that, but when I get started, it is just blobs of color all day, every day. Yeah, you can have as many as you want. Art style isn't anything like super magical or anything, it's just how you decide to make certain things look. So it's like Come Back Sunday when I do the B-side of the B-side painting. I work on 2 paintings at once, and this is one of them. So the one of Pipkin Pippa, and then I'm doing another one of a VTuber called Malice Evermore, and yeah, it's completely different. Completely different. All right. The Who's ended up getting a little bit textured there, but I think it's fine. I might fix it, I might not. We'll see how much I care next time. For now, I just kind of want to get this floof just so I can get the general gist of what I'm going for here. I still feel like things are a little bit too light right through here. But they're not floofing quite in the way I was hoping. So I'm a little bit worried. Come on, little guy, you gotta be floofy for me. Right now, you just look like a big smear, and I hate it. Okay. Anyway. Don't look like a smear. That's not what I want for you, little buddy. You can be so much more. Layers are just places where you can draw one thing without affecting another thing. You can use layers if you want, but you don't have to. I drew on one layer for a long time because I found it easier. If you find using layers easier, then, you know, go for it. Just hit the new layer button whenever you want to draw something without it being affected by something else, and eventually you'll kind of figure out how many layers you prefer to have. You can try it on one if you want. It doesn't really matter. You don't really have to worry about it. Just, you know, do what feels natural. And if nothing feels natural because being a beginner is hard, then just try different things. Pick an option, roll with it, see what happens, then try a different option, roll with it, and see what happens. This is what I like to call science. Experiment. Okay, nothing about this is that deep. Just draw the thing, it'll be great. Draw the cool thing. You know you want to. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what to do, then all you can really do is try something. That's why I'm streaming. Unironically, it really was, because I'm just like, you know, I don't know if I'll like streaming or not, so I was like, okay, let's find out. I would not have known if I had not tried. It was all just a coincidence, really. Oh yeah, Krita's fantastic. I love it. I have never felt the need to switch to any other. It does everything I want and more. Actually, I think your other ear needs a little bit of light, too. Let's get a little bit there. Oh. Ooh. There we go, and then I can make that fluffy. Okay. We got little bunny ears. And they are very bright and happy because they are in direct sunlight, and I think it looks great. Okay, but I gotta head out soon, unfortunately. I might not have quite enough time to finish making all these animals fluffy. I'll try to get through as much as I can. I already do you. You're already looking reasonably fluffy there. Yeah, okay. I lied. I had less animals to do than I thought I did. Kind of depends on how you look at it. I'd say I started taking art seriously, like, probably 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe a little bit more than that now. I always forget when that happened, but sometime around there, and if it's just when I kind of started learning, I kind of drew stuff on and off for a really long time. Probably more off than on. But that was like 20-ish years ago. So, yeah, it depends on the kind of answer you want there. Before then, you know, I just kind of draw when I felt like it and derped around. And then, like, I think it was like 4 years ago or so, I started actually, like, making an effort to draw every day and do a bunch of things and that kind of thing. So, a long time. Probably the best way to look at it. It has been a very long time. I just do not like your little face, buddy. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Okay. Alright, I think that's probably about as much as I can do. I guess I'll try to fluff out the little bunny and bird on her head before I head out. Unfortunately, you came just right at the end of my drawing session today. But it's okay, I'll be back tomorrow. I stream every day. Although tomorrow will be a game instead of art. But art will come back on Saturday. And Sunday. Yeah, I find it a good place to start. Why are you not blending? Did I not put light on you? I guess I didn't. Oh, whoops. Oh man, I'm sorry, little guy. He just got left out completely. Oh my goodness. How could I let this happen? This poor little bunny didn't get light. Alright. Yeah, I stream at the same time every day, so you can just, you know, click the notify button on the waiting rooms for tomorrow, and I will be there. They will convert things to your time zone, so you don't have to do any guesswork. Alright. But I think that's about all the time I have today, so I got at least most of the animals kind of figured out. I might have to go back and clean up some of this. The deer in particular look a little bit messy to me. But I'm happy. I got to do my lighting. Life is good, man. Life is great when I get to come on the internet and just draw things. But I think this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. Go make all the things. It's okay. You're good enough as you are. You can get started. And just remember that whatever you make now, even if your skills aren't up to the level that you want them to be, that your skills as they are now will help you get to where you want to be eventually. How long, this one specifically? This is like, what, part 10 or something? I don't remember. And YouTube is covering it up, but it says in the title what part this is. I think it's like 10 or 11 or something. I don't know. But I stream for about 3 hours every day, so you can kind of do the math from there. It's been a while. It'll probably be a little while before I finish it. I hope I'm able to finish it in time for Christmas. But regardless, go do the thing. It's better than doing nothing, I promise. It's 10, okay, so, you know, that's like 30 hours. Probably a little bit less than that, and I draw a little bit slower when I'm online. Yeah, well, probably a little bit minus. It's okay, Blood Bullet, I believe in you. YouTube will forgive you someday. They forgave me, so I'm sure it'll happen for you eventually. But, I gotta go pick up my daughter from school, so... Gotta head out, so thank you all for coming. And I still hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.